In his mind, he was selling me the right car, but in reality, he sold me the wrong one. Hey guys, welcome back to the Automotive Stable. I'm here with another video today. A video about my most spontaneous purchase, yet one of the most amazing and memorable ones. It's the Peugeot 207 GTI. Now some of you might know through my social media, some of you might not. I used to have a Peugeot 207 GTI. Now the way that car came about was quite interesting. And initially the seller who was selling this car to me didn't know what he was selling to me. So let me take you back to the start of summer 2019 when I'm on the verge of selling my BMW and looking to get an Audi. But in between that, I needed a transition vehicle. So it's basically a car that I needed from the time that I sold the BMW until I found myself the Audi. So I am at work, I'm checking Auto Trader, I'm checking Facebook, Gumtree, I'm just looking at adverts and just seeing what kind of cars are out there right now on the market. Not really eager to get into something straight away. I'm just checking out the market, having a feel for it, see what's out there for a potential purchase. So I'm looking on Facebook, I think, and one of the adverts that pops up is the Peugeot 207 GTI. Now I know what GTI is because it's more so a rare car now, especially that model 207 GTI. It was in production from 2007 to 2009, I believe, and that was it. Now the photos are of a Peugeot 207 GTI. However, the description just says a Peugeot 207 and the price doesn't really match up to a GTI's price that I would have in mind. So I read onto the description. It's a very basic one. You can tell it's a trader. It's not a private guy selling it. He's left his phone number, name, and just a little bit details about the car, saying everything's good, no accidents, no adverse history and all that stuff. I was still at work, but I called that guy. I said, hey, I've seen this ad for the Peugeot 207. Is that car still available? He said, yes, it's available. And I can gather from what he's telling me about the car, he doesn't actually know this is a Peugeot 207 GTI. Now, I could have been nice enough and told him that this was a Peugeot 207 GTI and not a standard Peugeot 207. But now I have the intention of maybe purchasing it. So obviously I don't want to give that out. So I spoke to him on the phone, but like I said, he didn't sound too desperate of wanting to sell the car now. I said, would it be fine if I come check out that car on the weekend? And he says to me, I already have about 6-7 people interested in this car. 2 of them are coming later this evening. The rest will come on, during the week or whatever. Normally this is a common thing in traders or anyone, even private sellers who are smart enough. When you're buying a car, they will tell you someone else is coming to view the cars. So you immediately think like, oh, this car might go. So if I want to purchase it, I'll purchase it now, right? But with this specific car, I knew it was a Peugeot 207 GTI, and there must have been other people out there who would have spotted that this is a Peugeot 207 GTI and not a standard Peugeot 207. I just asked him a few details about the car and I said, thank you, I'll call you back, let me, think about it. Still got my BMW, haven't put it on sale, haven't taken my private number plates off, it's still there, but I might not get the chance to buy a car like this again, right? So I quickly go on Auto Trader, type in Peugeot 207 GTI, and at that time, only 7 Peugeot GTIs in the whole of UK are on sale. Only 7. All GTIs on Auto Trader right now, all 7 of them, are at least £2,000 more expensive than what the guy has this Peugeot 207 GTI on sale for. You know what? Sorry, I gave him a call. I said, mate, look, I know you got 2 more people coming to see the car later this evening, but if I can get there within the next hour or so, would I be able to see the car first, and then if everything is okay with it, potentially purchase it? He's like, yeah, if you can get here before, sure, but I can't keep the car for you. Obviously, if they turn up, then I'm going to sell the car to whoever turns up first. Now, I'm like, okay, mate, if I give you a deposit, would you be able to hold the car for me until I get there today? And then I can tell he's a small-time trader. He doesn't have his own company and stuff like that, but he's just trading maybe as a side business or whatever. He said, no, we can't take a deposit, but if you want to get here first and you get it before anyone else, you can see the car, and if you like it, you can take it. I speak to the manager, I told him got an emergency, I need to leave. I called my friend, I said, look man, there's a car, I need to go see it. It's potentially going to be a great purchase. I need you to drive me there so I can go have a look at the car. I remember I left work in the next 5 minutes. Within 15-20 minutes I was at mate's house and we were already on our way to go see the car. I can't exactly remember where the car was based, but it was about an hour's drive. So now me and my friend, we arrive at the location which the trader has given us, and it's in front of a pub. I give him a call, I said I'm there, he said okay, I'm on my way, give me a few minutes. Now I see a couple of other people waiting down, I don't know why they're waiting there. Now obviously I'm sitting there waiting for the guy, but at the same time me and my friend are thinking, the guy's a bit weird, the price doesn't match up to what the car is actually worth. He's called us in front of a pub, no actual location. So I'm just thinking I need to be very careful with what I check in the car, just make sure with all the documentations, it hasn't got a bad history, it isn't stolen or anything. I also do a background check on my phone, everything comes through clear. So I look to my side on the Peugeot, I can see the Peugeot coming, the guy's driving it, he comes and parks right in front of us. And in front of him, another old Range Rover comes and parks. They park the cars, they get out, me and my friend get out. But they walk over to the other guys who are standing across the road, and apparently they are there to see the Range Rover, we are there to see the Peugeot 207. Now I'll get talking to him, I said, look, I like the car, I want to take it out for a test drive, check everything, is fine with the car, and if everything is good, I'll give you a price, and if you're happy with it, I'll take the car. So He jumped in the passenger seat, my mate's in the back, and I'm driving. So as soon as I start the car, drive off, I can already tell this car has a lot of power. Now it's country lane, so I'm speeding down a little bit. The way it's coming down the hills and going up the hills in like second, third gear, fourth gear, it's crazy. It's got a lot of power. You can hear the exhaust like quite loud. The seats inside are banging. The seats are Alcantara sports seats. I came back for a drive. I think my mate drove the car as well. You know, the car seemed perfectly fine. It looked amazing as well. We came back, I checked the engine on and stuff. It seems pretty clean. It seems like a very, very looked after car. I mean, the inside you can see there's like grass and stuff like that, because obviously it was a countryside. I don't think that guy's really looking after the car in that sense, because it's not his own. So the engine oil was fine, gearbox was fine, clutch was fine, the suspension looked great. There was no issue in the steering. And now I'm talking to him. I said, look mate, I've driven the car, I've checked the engine, everything. For me, the car seems alright. I'm happy to take this car off you. I'll buy it off you today now. But if there is something wrong with the car, then please tell me now. It just saves me headache of later on. I'll take the car off you regardless, right? I said that to him. Obviously, not everyone's going to tell you if there is something wrong with it. He said, no, car's completely fine. The history's completely fine. There's no, you know, it's HPI clear and everything. He said, I was selling a Ford Focus RS, and the person who bought the Ford Focus RS gave this 207 GTI as an exchange for that car. I said, I'll go ahead, I'll purchase this car. And then whilst I'm filling out the V5 logbook, I also got him to sign a document saying that this car has been sold legally and there's no adverse history attached to it. Now, whilst I'm filling out those documents, he goes, but the guy who sold this car to me, he said that he had highly tuned this car, so it's not running standard power. Hence the performance gain you can feel when you're driving the car. So at that time I knew this guy did not know that this was a Peugeot 207 GTI, and I was very happy to go ahead with the purchase. I bought the car, and now me and my friend are driving back. We stop on the way to get fuel because the fuel light is on, there's no fuel being put in. And already by looking at it, there was a few things I knew I'm going to change. First of all, main thing being the red brake calipers. I hate that on cars, and on that as well, just made the car look a lot more tackier, racer boy like than it actually was. So that was the first thing I was going to change. I knew it needed more tins. Normally I refrain myself from getting white cars. I don't think white cars suit me like that, but this example just came up and it worked. And like I said, I wasn't going to keep it for long. Now as standard, the Peugeot 207 GTI comes with 175 brake horsepower and around 258 newton-meters of torque, and I think they're 0 to 60 times around the 7-second mark. And because the trader told me this car was tuned and I could feel the performance gain, I wanted to check what kind of statistics this car is currently running. So when I got that checked out, the car was stage 1 remap. It was running 204 brake horsepower and 301 or 304 newton-meters of torque. I managed to do some 0 to 60 times around 5.5 seconds. So even though I owned the car for 2 months, because I did so many miles in it, nearly 3,500, it felt like I was in ownership of the car for quite long. As soon as I bought the car, I had all the discs and brake pads changed to Brembos. Normally I say the first thing I always get done on cars is the tints. That was the second thing I got done on this car. First thing was getting rid of the red brake calipers. I jacked up the car, took off the rims, cleaned the brake calipers. And believe it or not, the first color that I did the brake calipers in was like a neon green, right? I had them on for a couple of days and then I said, nah, just with the whole thing I was doing with the car, I needed something a little bit more subtle but classy at the same time. So I ended up making the brake calipers gold. Gold brake calipers went very, very nicely with the car because the wheels were originally finished in matte. However, I got them redone in gloss black, so now everything just popped really nicely together. In terms of performance modifications, I didn't have to do that. It was quick as, same bolt. I didn't need to do anything to it. It was top of its game for me for that car, right? But aesthetically, I wanted to change a few things. I wanted to, customize it and make it my own, like I do with every single one of my cars. Another big modification that I did to the car was the front. I didn't really like the way that GTI looked from the front. It didn't have that aggressive feel about it. The back looked nice and hinged low, but the front looked a bit too sweet. What I did, I wrapped up the car. The front grille was grey. I sprayed that in black. I finished the front bumper in black. I finished the front number plate block in black, and I gave it that nice V shape, bring out the blades on the side to give it that aggressive look. I had an idea in my mind. It was a French car, so I wanted to give some sort of French tribute to it. I removed front badge, the rear badge, the sides it had GTI stickers. I removed them, and I custom made the badges. For the rear, I bought a metal badge with the French flag. I fitted it on very nicely. I molded it to the body. That looked amazing. Front badge I made from scratch. So I had a bit of flexi plastic and fiberglass, and I combined them with the French flag, French stickers to make the front badge come out the way it did. Also on the sides I made custom carbon fiber vinyl, French flags with obviously the French colours, blue, white and red. Went and got the tints done. Fully blacked out on this because it was a white car with full tints. It looked amazing. One of the more expensive mods I did on this car, which I wasn't really expecting to do, but just ended up happening because it was fitting the whole image of the car that I had in my head, was the rear tail lights. Now, you know, the rear tail lights on Peugeots don't really look all that. I had found a pair of tail lights online for this Peugeot 207 GTI. They were LEDs, around £300, 300, £350, I can't remember. Those lights looked amazing during daytime and nighttime. If you looked at the detail in those lights, it was crazy. One of the more detailed lights I've seen. I ordered them when they came, I put them onto the car, and that just transformed the whole car. Another thing that I did was I changed the interior trim. The interior trim was done in like a greyish effect. I removed that and I finished all of that in gloss black. It just went very nicely with the interior of the car with the Alcantara seats. For the front headlights, I got the night eye LED bulbs. Because the car came with one key, I had an extra key made. That key cost me another £150. I think because it was a, you know, they had to code in some special kind of way. I don't know what it was, but it looked nice. It was much nicer than the actual Peugeot key. You know, when I say this car was quick, trust me, it was quick. I raced the M235i and you know, it was very close. Smoked Vauxhall Astra VXRs, Corsa VXRs, even Ford Focus STs and Ford Fiesta STs. This car did have a lot of power, small, agile. It was like a little rabbit. I bought the GTI at the end of May 2019, and by the end of July 2019, I had already sold it. It was an amazing car. I had it for 2 months, did a lot of modifications to it, put a lot of miles on it. And even though it was just 2 months, for me, it felt like a long time. It was one of the most spontaneous car purchases for me, but it turned out to be one that left me with a lot of memories. You know, the way that car drove, the power, the performance it had, the way everyone looked at it. You know, I sold that car to my cousin, and my cousin sold it on, I believe, a couple of months ago. I wish I had kept on to that car. You know, it would have been a great project car to keep on the side. However, these cars that do have their own problems, they have tensioner problems, you know, carbon build-up and like turbocharger, hairline fractures and stuff like that. So in a sense, it was good that I had it for that time. I enjoyed it. There was no problems. The car didn't give me any hiccups. It was perfect for the time that I had it. And I hope whoever's got the car now, they smile every day, they sit in that seat, because that car is honestly a lot of fun and excitement wrapped into a little shell. And thanks to the seller who didn't know this was a 207 GTI, because otherwise the price would have been, you know, in a different bracket. For that kind of bracket, I would have probably considered another hot hatch, maybe a German hot hatch. So yes, that was my Peugeot 207 GTI, the car that the seller sold me without knowing what car it was. In his mind, he sold me the right car, but in reality, he sold me the wrong car. But for me, that was the right car, if that makes sense. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I'll be back next week with another video. Until then, logging out. Bye-bye.